It's time for Money Talks, presented by MidFirst Bank. Get your OU debit or credit card today exclusively from MidFirst Bank, a premier partner of OU Athletics, true to you, member FDIC, which means if you have your money in there, $250,000 of it is protected by the government.
Absolutely.
Wow, I learned that from her, y'all. So I just wanted to start off with that. This is our money coach, Cami Sheaffer. I mean, it's known by now. I've posted, if you all follow anything, I got a little baby boy, my baby Harley. I have an older son as well, a Swadey baby. That's my guy. But I need some advice here, Cami. Can we talk about 529Cs and what we need to do, the tax implications, all this stuff? Can we talk about that?
Absolutely. Congratulations, by the way. That's exciting.
Thank you.
And I'm really glad that you're asking this question now, because we see with our program here at OU, when we're working with families about creating plans to pay for school, many of them don't have plans leading up to going to college. So the fact that you're asking about this now is fantastic.
Good. So 529C, does that mean it's solely for college? Can it be used before, or what does that even mean?
Yeah, so a 529C, what you're calling an education savings plan, it's meant to be used for education expenses. And there's different qualifying expenses. There can be tuition and fees for a community college, a four-year university, a two-year college. You can even use it for a trade school.
Oh, yeah.
And then
can you even use it for like private school and high school?
Yeah. K through 12 private
K through
school.
12? Wow.
I do believe there's a limit of $10,000 a year on that, but you can check on that.
Yeah. No, that's good.
Yeah.
I got private school kids. We were talking about it earlier, so trying to figure it out,
Yeah, you have to start now. The earlier you start, the more money you will have because of time and compound interest, which we've talked about before. But it can also be used for housing and food, on-campus living or off-campus living rent.
Oh,
you
wow.
can't buy a house with it. I looked into that.
Yeah, you're like trying to get your baby's good to go.
Yeah. I'm like, can I buy a house? And then their roommates pay us rent.
Yeah.
No, absolutely not. And then there are different types of college savings accounts. The 529 Oklahoma one is the one I have for my kids. So I'm going to be talking specifically about that one.
Yeah.
But you'll have to check with any college savings account that you open what the qualifying expenses are. But computer, textbooks, those are also qualifying expenses for the Oklahoma 529 plan.
Okay. And so then what happens if my kid is a YouTuber and he's 18 and then he doesn't use college funds? What happens to that money? Does it just disappear?
Yeah, there are actually different options. Okay, so when I open up my 529 plans for my kids, I'm the account holder, right? And if I don't have kids, I can add me as the beneficiary, because you can change beneficiaries without paying a penalty.
Okay.
So technically, I have two, one beneficiary for my son, and my daughter's the other beneficiary for her account, right? If my son doesn't use his money for his college savings account, I can change it to my daughter, and she can be the beneficiary without penalty.
Okay.
So that's one option. The other option is you can roll over the money that's not used to a Roth IRA, but you can only roll over $35,000 of it.
Oh,
yeah. So when I talk about 529 plans, I don't want people to over invest in that without knowing that aspect of it. A fully funded college savings account would be enough to cover a four-year university, right?
Yeah.
You don't have to put that much into it. For my daughter's college savings plan, we have her 529, but it's not fully funded.
Okay.
So we are also going to make payments. She's going to apply for scholarships. She's going to work part-time. So all of this coming together makes up her plan. But someone could invest, you could put $300 a month for 18 years into a 529 plan with about a 7% rate of return and have more than $120,000 in that account, which would, to me, is a good fully funded college savings account for at least a public state's college.
Yeah.
Maybe not for a private.
Yeah, because that can be confusing if, now, honestly, this is my own non-professional opinion, but I mean, if you aren't going to trade school or college, that's probably out of the norm. And so it would be an expectation that you're going to use some of this money. So then if you do use some of it, can you still roll that the remainder over into a Roth IRA for them?
Yeah, up to $35,000.
Up to $35,000.
And then also, let's say Harley's a beast.
Yeah,
And
gets a scholarship.
Gets a football scholarship,
Yeah.
right?
He better. No,
with
playing.
with the Oklahoma 529 plan, you can pull out the money that student is receiving in scholarship penalty free.
Oh, wow.
And then worst case scenario, let's say your student, someone only has one child, so there's not another beneficiary they want to give it to. I mean, technically they could give it to that child's child in the future, but let's say that's not the case. And so you could roll over the $35,000. Worst case scenario, you just pay the taxes on the growth. You're not paying the taxes on what you contributed because you already did that throughout the years as you're contributing.
Right.
So you're paying the federal and state taxes on the growth and then a 10% penalty.
So
That's
on
worst
that
case scenario.
Average 7% return of the compounding and everything, you pay the taxes on that. Okay.
And when you start this process, since you're starting early on, you can be in riskier investments.
Yeah.
And so your rate of return is going to be much higher than what my daughter is. My daughter is a senior in high school, so she's in a very conservative fund.
Yeah.
And when you go to oklahoma529.com to open up this plan, if you're doing it in Oklahoma, there's plans in every state.
Can you go on like a Fidelity even? Or
Yeah,
do it that way
Fidelity,
too?
you can
Okay.
do that. But so let's say you go to Oklahoma and you open that up, you can choose what kind of investment. So there are what I call them target date funds. I think they call them enrollment year funds. But it's basically you're going to be in riskier funds when the child is younger, and then as they get older, the funds change.
Yeah.
Much like a 401k.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
As you get closer to retirement, the funds become because you don't want to lose the money.
Right.
So my daughter's only getting about a little under 5% rate of return right now.
Yeah.
But she's
But
a
she's
senior
about to
in high
start
school.
using it.
Right.
Yeah, so it's time for her to start cashing in on that and using it.
But if you don't do the enrollment year fund, you can do a riskier fund where you choose the investments. And there's also a guaranteed option where it's very conservative and guarantees you not losing
Is that
the money.
more like an S&P kind of follower or something
No,
like that?
it's more
or-
like a savings account.
Okay.
Right, versus the market. The riskier one is like it's in the market. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. No, that makes sense.
Yeah. One more thing I want to say about that, by the way.
Yeah.
You are not limited to a school in Oklahoma. So if you open up this Oklahoma 529 plan, if Harley wants to go to play football somewhere else, which we know that's not going to happen,
Why
right?
would he
Sooner
do
born,
that?
sooner bred.
Yeah.
So if Harley does want to do that, that money can be used in a different college in a different state.
Okay.
But the benefit of opening one in Oklahoma as someone who earns income in Oklahoma is that you get a state tax benefit. There's a state tax deduction, right? So it's $10,000 a year for a single individual and $20,000 for married filing jointly, right?
Okay. Wow.
So if you're making $100,000 jointly and you put in $20,000 a year in this 529 plan, then that lowers your AGI to $80,000. And you're only paying state taxes on $80,000 versus the $100,000.
Wow. That's really good.
And then all the growth of everything that's going in there is growing tax-free.
Yeah.
You're not paying the taxes on that if you use it for those qualifying education expenses that we talked about.
That is really cool. So then at one point in time, you could have, okay, I have my Roth IRA, my wife has her Roth IRA, and then our kids we have 2 kids, so 529C. So then you would be able to take $14,000 from our Roth IRAs and $20,000, and all that would come together and be $34,000 deduction? Or is it not one-to-one on the Roths?
You would need to check with your accountant on the Roth.
That's probably a good question.
And everything I will say, you need to talk with your accountant.
Yeah.
I am not an accountant. I just have 529 plans, so I educate
You live it.
myself. But yeah, you need to talk to your accountant about what's best for you for your taxes.
Always,
Yeah.
always. No,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
But
yeah.
if you're not fully funding that 529 in case something happens, you can use Roth IRA for education expenses as well. And another option for a child is a custodial IRA, which it's in their name. Again, it's a retirement account for the future, but it can be used for education expenses. The difference between that and the 529 plan is that the student or the child has to earn income to contribute contribute to their custodial Roth IRA.
Oh, so they have to be the one working. They have to be the one doing that. Okay. So at 16 or something, if they wanted to go work and they start doing that, then they could start racking that up. But you wouldn't get much in just 2 years compared to the 529.
Some students or children will mow yards,
and all that
babysit.
counts.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, if you have your own business, you can employ your child to work for you.
Oh, wow. That's pretty good. Be a door greeter or something. I've seen some things like that, something easy since they're like 5 and do different things. Or act out in a commercial or something and all that counts, right? Wow.
Get them working young.
Well, that's really good. Well, yeah, 529Cs, custodial IRAs. So now it's CPA time after that. And that's pretty much where you got to go. So you get all these plans, you do it, and then you just need to plan out with your
Well, and you
family.
can talk to your accountant before you open up these accounts. The Oklahoma 529 plan is so easy to open. It takes like 15 minutes according to their website. I do remember it being very easy.
Yeah.
If your child has already been born and they have a social security number, then you can open that up, and you only have to contribute $25 to start it.
Oh, wow.
So it's not like it's expensive to get into. And I would say this. If you, as parents, money can be tight when the kids are little. Start with whatever you can. If it's only $10 a paycheck per child, then do it.
Yeah.
But if you're putting, I don't know if I already said this, $300 a month, that will be where you need to be. But you don't have to do that. You can start with $25 a paycheck.
And there's other scholarships and things available too to help with those things. But now I do have a question that I've heard multiple times. Does a car count in Oklahoma as a college expense? Or do they have to be going outside? Do you know that one?
Talk to your accountant.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, good. Well, I appreciate you. I learned so much today already. 300 is kind of a good number to know, okay, if I'm doing at least that, then the college will be paid for. And then whatever's left over after that, since I'm starting at 0, then, we'll just roll that over for them. So this has been Money Talks with the one and only Cami Sheaffer. I'm Caleb King Kelly. We appreciate you so much, Cami. Everything you do for our players, everything you do for our university. You're a rock star. You're awesome. Thank you for coming on the Double Take.
Thank you.